The hidden spirits of the jungle. The Amazon, a living labyrinth that stretches across 9 countries, where light is just a lost traveler among the dense trees. Here, every creature has a story. But you don't always hear them. Because most of the most mysterious, most charming creatures don't speak. They silently hop through the branches like shadows, swoop across the sky like colorful lightning, or crawl slowly in the mud, living beyond the sight and imagination of men. In this jungle, it is not the strongest who rule, but the ones who hide, adapt, and wait. From the deadly squeeze of the anaconda to the heart-rending scream of the screamer, from the silent gaze of the sloth to the lightning-fast sweep of the harpy, the Amazon is more than just a forest, it is a stage for wild spirits. Join us on a journey like no other, where every breath, every sound, every movement carries the ancient secret of life. Jaguar, the ghost of the jungle. No sound, no warning signs, just a shadow that passes like the wind and then disappears. When the jaguar attacks, it's over before the victim realizes death is approaching. As the largest cat in the Americas, the jaguar Panthera onca is a nightmare in the dense jungle world. No need to chase, no need to roar. Because here, speed is not the ultimate weapon, but stealth. Hiding in the dense foliage and the thick darkness, the jaguar patiently waits for the right moment. A light flick of the foot, a single leap, and a fatal bite piercing the skull, reaching the brain. A rare killing skill in the world of big cats. It's not just a hunter. It's a ghost in the Amazon jungle. Appearing like lightning in the rainy night, disappearing without a trace. Leaving only as silence, and the carcass of the prey goes cold under the canopy of the forest. Anaconda, nightmare in the mud. No venom, no cry, no warning. Just a gentle movement of water. A small ripple in a seemingly peaceful swamp. And when you feel something slithering around your leg, perhaps it's too late. The anaconda, the world's largest snake, doesn't kill with venom like its brethren. It doesn't need to. It has an even more terrifying weapon, pure strength. Instead of making a loud attack, the anaconda quietly approaches its prey from underwater. Then suddenly it bursts out, wrapping its 30-foot-long body tightly. A squeeze enough to crush ribs. A dive dragging its victim into the murky darkness of the Amazon swamp. No blood. No cry. Just absolute silence. The anaconda does not hunt for mere survival. It is the embodiment of the jungle, slow, unforgiving, and leaving no trace. Capybara, Zen master of the Amazon. In a world where every creature lives by instinct, where strength, speed, and ruthlessness are the deciding factors for survival, capybara chooses a different path. It doesn't need fangs. It doesn't need claws. It doesn't need to run fast or hide too well. Because the capybara's weapon is serenity. The capybara is the world's largest rodent. With its plump body, gentle eyes, and leisurely walk, it looks like a character from a fairy tale in this fierce wilderness. They live in herds, but don't jostle. They eat grass, but never fight. And when it's hot, the whole herd of capybaras will leisurely walk down to the river, soaking in the cool water. No rush. No worry. Just live and enjoy every moment. The strange thing is, the capybara can live peacefully with almost everything. Birds often perch on its back. Monkeys climb on its head without fear of being chased away. Even crocodiles do not bother to attack. Perhaps because the capybara does not show any danger and does not create any hostility. It exists as a natural part of the Amazon, gentle, leisurely, strangely calm. Science calls it highly social. But in the heart of the jungle, people call the capybara by another name. The Zen master of the Amazon. It teaches us a lesson about slowness. That we do not always need to fight to survive. That sometimes, living in harmony, is the wisest way to survive. In the midst of the noisy and fierce Amazon, the capybara is silence. A breather, so that the jungle does not become too harsh. Dwarf caiman, dwarf crocodile. Don't let its size fool you. Dwarf caimans may only be a little over 1 meter long, but their teeth are strong enough to crush small bones. Hide in the mud during the day, and are silent hunters at night. In the Amazon, all sizes are equally dangerous. Piranha, piranha. Saw teeth, razor sharp. Piranhas swim in schools, cleaning up a carcass in minutes. But behind the ferocity lies an important role: cleaning, purifying, regenerating the river. In nature, there are no bad guys, only creatures doing their job. Milk frogs. White, smooth, and seemingly harmless, that's how the milk frog looks. When threatened, it secretes a milky mucus that irritates the skin, a gentle but clear message: don't touch me. This little creature chooses to live quietly, where only the patient will see it. Black poison frog. Small as a button, but capable of killing an animal. The black poison frog's skin carries a powerful toxin, and its blackness is a clear warning: don't touch. In the Amazon, the smallest are sometimes the most dangerous. Poison arrow frogs. Colorful, tiny, and deadly. Indigenous tribes once used the poison from their skin to coat their hunting arrows. A creature weighing only a few grams, but it can change the course of a hunt. It is the power of nature, where beauty never means safety. Lizard, Amazon lizard. On the rough bark of a tree, a shadow flashes and then disappears. It is the lizard, the master of stealth. Some species can run on water, change color to camouflage, and shed their tails to escape. In this dense world, survival is an art of speed and transformation. Marmosets, tiny ghosts of the jungle. Small as a hand, but as agile as lightning, that's the marmoset. In the tallest trees of the Amazon, where light only peeks through the leaves, marmosets are creatures that are always on the move, always disappearing before we can see clearly. With their round, sparkling eyes and chirping like a child's laughter, they bring a bustling vitality to the old forest. But that cuteness hides a perfect survival instinct. Marmosets memorize every branch, every corner, and even the sounds of predators. They move in small packs, always alert and flexible. They feed on tree sap, insects, ripe fruit, and communicate with a series of mysterious sounds that humans still don't fully understand. Marmosets are the embodiment of agility, intelligence, and connection, the gentle but indispensable heartbeat of the Amazon forest. Monkey face 2. Red howler, the sound that awakens the deep forest. When the red howler monkey makes a sound, the whole forest seems to stop. That sound can be heard up to 5 kilometers away, a majestic declaration in the middle of the jungle. Red howler monkeys do not show off their strength with muscles or claws, but with their voices deep, resonant, and powerful. They do not howl to threaten, but to keep their distance, to mark their territory, to remind others that this forest has an owner. They live in groups, climbing slowly on the tallest trees. Their large bodies and red fur are like a fire burning in the green forest canopy. Every early morning, their howls resound in unison like the Amazon's alarm symphony. Red howler monkeys are the guardians of the forest sounds. And when that howl disappears, perhaps, the forest will never be itself again. Monkey 3. Baby pygmy monkey, small but resilient. A creature as small as a finger. Grab onto tree branches with all 4 limbs like an ingrained instinct. Pygmy monkeys are the smallest primates in the world, only the size of a chicken egg, with grayish-brown fur, small ears, and wide, curious eyes. They are like living toys, gentle, agile, and enchanting. But don't let their appearance fool you. Behind those innocent eyes is a sharp intelligence, and incredible survival ability. Baby pygmy always follows its mother, learning how to climb trees, find food, and avoid enemies. Every jump is the first lesson in survival in the jungle. They move silently, as light as a breeze, as fast as lightning, always capturing every change around them. Despite their small size, pygmy monkeys have a strong vitality, proof that it is not size, but character that determines survival. Brain 4. Capuchin, the Amazon's little inventor. Capuchin monkeys don't just live, they learn. They don't just survive, they create. In the Amazon primate world, capuchins are exceptionally intelligent creatures. They know how to use rocks to crack hard seeds, use leaves to catch water, and can even make simple tools, something that very few species other than humans can do. They observe, remember, imitate, and improve. The capuchin's curiosity never stops, it drives them to explore every rock, every tree, every strange sound. They live in groups, share food, cooperate, and protect each other. Individuals in the group have their own roles, like a miniature society in the middle of the forest. Capuchins are living proof that intelligence is not just a human privilege. But sometimes, it hides in short fur, sharp eyes, and a head that never stops thinking. Monkey 5. Spider monkey, dancer in the air. No one moves like a spider monkey. They don't walk, they don't run. They fly over a distance of more than 10 meters, with just a push from their hands and tail. Spider monkeys have a slim body, long arms, and a tail like a third arm, strong, flexible, and can grasp like a real hand. They use their bodies as sky dancers, leaping from branch to branch, gliding through the forest with incredible speed and grace. Unlike howler monkeys or capuchins, they make little noise, but every movement is a declaration. I was born to be free. Spider monkeys live in groups, eating fruits, leaves, and flowers. They hold a special place in the ecosystem, helping to disperse seeds everywhere, maintaining the life of the old forest. They are the epitome of freedom, the epitome of an unfettered creature living only to the rhythm of the wind and foliage. Lion 6. Lion tamarin, the royals of the jungle. With their manes like lions, small bodies, and proud gazes, lion tamarins are the little royals of the Amazon. They live in families, very close-knit, extremely vigilant, with one member of the herd always watching over the others as they forage or care for their young. Every action shows incredible discipline and caution. Lion tamarins are rare. They are found only in a few primary forests that are increasingly shrinking. Despite their small size, they require extremely stable habitats, and that makes them more fragile than ever. When you are lucky enough to encounter a lion tamarin, it is not just a beautiful moment. It is a reminder that nature is losing its precious gems, and that if nothing is done, one day all that will remain will be memories of the forest nobility. Sloth, the Amazon's slow master. A tree branch sways gently in the wind. But there is no wind. The movement comes from a creature you could stand and watch for a minute and still not recognize. It is the sloth, one of the strangest and most misunderstood creatures in the Amazon. Not fast. Not strong. Not sharp. The sloth seems to possess all the opposites of normal survival traits. It moves at a speed of about 200 meters a day. Slower than a toddler can walk. But that very slowness is the ultimate survival strategy. The sloth does not hunt. It does not run. It blends in with nature quietly and persistently. The thick, coarse fur grows backwards not only to keep it warm, but also to provide moss for living camouflage. It also has green algae, insects, and sometimes butterflies and beetles living together. A miniature ecosystem, nestled on the back of one creature. The sloth only goes down to the ground once a week to go to the toilet. And that is when it becomes most vulnerable. So it chooses to go early in the morning, where there are few predators, and then quickly returns to the safe zone, the towering branches of trees, where few enemies can reach. But don't think the sloth is weak. Its curved claws are long as knives, they can grip the tree trunk so tightly that nothing can remove it. If attacked, it doesn't run, it hugs tightly, never letting go. It is thanks to this strategy of silence, stillness, unattractiveness, that the sloth avoids most predators, including aerial predators like the Harpy Eagle. The sloth doesn't just live slowly, it lives long. It can live up to 30 years in the wild. And during that time, its rhythm of life does not change. In a world of constant running, constant hunting, constant fighting, the sloth chooses to stay still. And that is what makes it survive. Dance of fragile beauty. Amidst the dense canopy of the Amazon, where light only filters through the thick leaves, there are tiny movements that make the whole forest seem to light up. Not a roar, not a fierce flap of wings. Just butterfly wings thin as paper, light as breath, flying between the morning sun and the scent of flowers. Each butterfly is a vivid picture painted with colors, metallic sheen, patterns and illusions. Some have jade green wings like precious stones. Some sparkle like drops of water in the sun. And some possess false eyes, large spots like wild beasts to scare away enemies 100 times larger. The whole world of butterflies is art and camouflage. They know how to hide among flowers, blend into tree bark, and slow down time with the grace of each flight. The lifespan of a butterfly is short, sometimes only a few weeks. But before that, it has gone through a magical journey, from egg to caterpillar to cocoon, and then to fly. The moment it emerges from the cocoon, opening its wings for the first time, is also the moment it begins to count down its final days. Not all birds in the Amazon sing softly. Some sing like electronic instruments. Some scream like sirens. And a few species carry the melody of the deep forest, both gentle and mysterious. Yellow circle Montezuma or Apendula, conductor of the jungle. On the tops of tall trees, among countless vines and shade, there are nests as long as bags hanging in the wind. That is the home of the Montezuma or Apendula, the master of electronic sound of the Amazon. Every breeding season, the males gather, competing to sing, but not in a normal singing voice. Their voices sound like electronic music. Speaker high volume screeching, ringing, echoing, distorted, flickering, enchanting. This sound echoes far and wide throughout the forest, turning the breeding area into a living concert. And when the whole flock sings, you can close your eyes and imagine you are in the middle of an ancient musical performance, where nature is the orchestra, and the birds are the musicians. Black circle trumpeter, giant starling. In the lower forest floor, trumpeter, a bird that looks like a jungle fowl, makes a completely different sound. Their call echoes like a brass trumpet, long, ringing, strange and unmistakable. These birds live in small groups, walking on strong legs through dense bushes. And every time they sing, it is as if the whole forest has just woken up. The natives believe that when you hear the trumpeter, it means the forest is warning or welcoming you. White circle whistling heron, whistling heron. When dawn breaks, a thin mist covers the river, you can hear a delicate, gentle whistle. That is the greeting of the whistling heron, a graceful, elegant and discreet heron. They tread lightly across the shallow water, their long legs gliding as if drawing soft lines on the surface of the water. They do not hunt with speed or ferocity, but with absolute patience. Every movement of the whistling heron is a silent song, gentle, precise and calm. Red circle screamer, screamer. But don't let the peacefulness fool you. Because in the Amazon, not all wild animals roar. Sometimes, a scream rips through the air, echoing far and wide like an alarm, coming from a seemingly harmless creature. Screamer, screamer. They are not colorful, not splendid, nor do they have a melodious voice. But when they sing, no one does not pay attention. Their screams signal territorial boundaries, warn of danger, or simply assert, "I'm here. And you can't ignore me." The Amazon, where every bird is its own musical instrument. From electronic songs to piercing screams, from brassy beats to whistled whispers, each Amazonian bird not only survives, but also writes its own melody for the forest. A wild symphony without a conductor, but alive, spontaneous, and unrepeatable anywhere else on earth. Black-faced ibis, black-faced ibis. With its brown plumage and long, curved beak, the black-faced ibis is not flashy, but it cannot be mistaken for any other species. They dig through the mud for food with rare patience, step by step, each gentle peck. It is a symbol of wetlands where life begins in mud. Blue jay, blue jay. In the colorful forest, the blue jay's clear song always stands out. Not only are they beautiful, but they are also smart. They can imitate the sounds of other species and plan to hide food during the scarce season. Each flight is like a blue stroke that decorates the gray space of the rainforest after the rain. Woodpeckers. A knock-knock sound echoes through the forest, not footsteps, but woodpeckers searching for food. They are ecological engineers, making holes in nests not only for themselves, but also for other small birds. Each knock is a rhythm of life, regular and indispensable. Trumpeter, giant starling. Size like a jungle fowl, voice like a trumpet. The trumpeter makes a loud, echoing call in the lower forest floors, strange, long-lasting, and unlike any other bird. When you hear that sound, you know the Amazon is waking up, and no one can sleep. Dashing through the canopy like a bolt of green lightning, the Amazonian green macaw doesn't sneak through the jungle, it announces its arrival with a sharp, echoing cry. Its feathers shimmer in emerald and lime, catching every shard of sunlight that slips through the trees. But what truly sets it apart is love. These parrots mate for life, bonded pairs that fly wingtip to wingtip, their movements synchronized like a dance in the sky. And when one calls, the other always answers. A loud, unmistakable cry that cuts through the forest like a love song, wild, unapologetic, eternal. In a world where survival is often solitary, the green macaw chooses to love out loud. Screamer, screaming bird. Not a lion. Not a jackal. That resounding sound is a bird. Screamer is not beautiful, but it is unmistakable when it speaks. The scream pierces the silence, a presence that cannot be ignored. Montezuma or Pendula, Montezuma bird. Their nests are long, hanging bags swaying in the forest breeze. Their voices? Like a resonant electronic instrument, strange and enchanting. During the breeding season, the whole forest resonates like a silent concert. Aratinga mitrata, a red festival in the Amazon sky. Between the towering trees, where the sunlight barely filters through the leaves, you will sometimes hear a bustling sound, like the cheers of a happy crowd. Look up and you will see them, Aratinga mitrata, the tiny but never silent red-headed parrot. They do not fly alone. They are always in a group, a team moving like a small whirlwind of color and noise. Their voices are loud, clear, and bustling, as if they are constantly chatting, arguing, or simply celebrating something that no one knows about. And then in the moment when the light shines through the forest, you see those orange-red flames flare up like flying fireworks. Each bird is a piece of the festival gliding across the deep blue sky. Aratinga mitrata are not only beautiful, they are also intelligent. They remember their flight paths, call to each other with unique sounds, and can even learn human speech if kept close. In the wild, red-crowned parrots like to gather around berry trees, chatting while eating, playing while resting, like a small community that lives entirely on joy. They are not birds of prey, nor do they have the majestic appearance of an eagle. But Aratinga mitrata reminds us that, in the midst of a competitive jungle, there is still room for vibrant life, color, and laughter. They are the Amazon's mobile carnival, lighting up the sky with their radiant and noisy existence. Harpy Eagle, lord of the Amazon sky. In the highest reaches of the Amazon rainforest, where light filters through the dense canopy, there is a creature that makes no sound, but makes the entire forest hold its breath. Harpy Eagle, with wingspans of nearly 2 meters, is the embodiment of silent power. Its deep black eyes can detect the slightest movement from hundreds of meters away. Its powerful legs, long claws like daggers, can pierce the skull of a monkey in just one bite. No need to chase. No need to play with prey. The harpy just watches, waits, then swoops down like lightning through the foliage. A single strike without fail. Monkeys, sloths, large birds, even baby pythons can all become a neat meal in the claws of this bird. But behind that fearsome appearance is a creature that is extremely loyal and devoted. Harpies live in pairs for life. They build nests in the tallest trees as big as beds and give birth to only one chick at a time. The young stay in the nest for nearly 2 years, protected by their parents, hunting for prey and teaching them how to survive in the harsh outdoors. The harpy's patience is a lesson in maternal love and sustainable living strategies. But this majestic bird is becoming increasingly rare. Deforestation, ancient trees disappear, harpies have nowhere to build nests. Many are forced to fly hundreds of miles in search of new territory, and sometimes, never to return. The harpy eagle, once a stalwart symbol of the Amazon, has become a fading mark in the eyes of generations. If you see a harpy eagle soaring through the ancient trees, know that you are witnessing a precious piece of nature that has survived. A quiet creature, but one that leaves an unforgettable mark. Harpy, not just lord of the sky. It is the spirit of the forest. Black-faced ibis. Black-faced ibis. With its brown plumage and long, curved beak, the black-faced ibis is not flashy, but it cannot be mistaken for any other species. They dig through the mud for food with rare patience, step by step, each gentle peck. It is a symbol of wetlands where life begins in mud. Whistling heron. Whistling heron. A delicate whistle rings out through the morning mist. That is the dawn greeting of the whistling heron, the graceful, elegant heron. Its long legs carry it across the calm water, its sharp eyes following every movement. Not a brutal predator, but a patient master. Crested caracara, the lawless man. In a world where birds of prey usually soar silently above, stalking their prey from afar with classic pride, the crested caracara takes a different path. It doesn't take flight. It walks. Calm, poised, as if everything below is its own stage. Its crest is upturned, its eyes are like cold knives. The caracara is not the hawk you'd imagine. It doesn't choose the strongest prey. It doesn't need a perfect swoop. Instead, it stalks, sniffs, watches, and waits for an opening. The caracara eats meat, scavenges, and sometimes, outright steals from other predators. Sees another bird carrying prey up a branch? It waits. Sees a predator skipping its meal? It approaches. No rush. No worries. Because it knows opportunity always comes to those who dare to be flexible. The crested caracara can fly well but rarely needs to. It uses everything: animal trails, vacant lots, old animal carcasses, even human shadows to avoid threats. That is why it is a symbol of non-standard adaptation. Not the strongest. Not the fastest. But still living well and even living wisely. Armadillo, armored beast. Small, armored, and able to turn into a ball when needed. The armadillo burrows like a drill, living alone and hiding. But don't mistake its quietness for weakness, this is a true jungle survivor. Turtle, the silent pilgrim of the Amazon. In the midst of the rushing river, in the mud and darkness, there is a creature that never rushes. The Amazon turtle, a master of patience and silence. Not strong. Not fast. Without sharp claws or fierce fangs. But it has a shield of time, a thick, hard shell, carrying on its back a slow life. Each crawling step, each time it rises to the surface to catch its breath, is a testament to its endurance in a world that waits for no one. The Amazon turtle lives a long time, maybe more than 50 years, and never shows any signs of haste. When the forest is flooded, it drifts with the current. When the sun rises, it sunbathes motionless like a breathing rock. And when the breeding season comes, the female turtles find sandy beaches by the river, quietly digging nests, depositing their eggs back to the earth and sky. No need to cry. No need to roar. They simply exist, a quiet but steady part of the Amazon. In a world of chaos and change, turtles teach us that it is not the speed that determines survival. It is not the loudness that determines hearing. Sometimes, it is the slowness and resilience that are the keys to longevity. Tapir, tapir. With a body like a pig and a nose as long as an elephant, tapirs are strange and gentle creatures. They are silent seed dispersers, each step they take sows new life into the forest. Despite their size, they are so quiet that few people have ever seen tapirs in the wild. Pink dolphins, Ka dolphin hong. Legend has it that at night, pink dolphins transform into humans to come ashore to find a mate. The truth? They are extremely intelligent, live in groups, and are pink like river lilies. Amidst the flooded rivers of the Amazon, pink dolphins are fairy spirits that can swim.